Adjustment of battle income. So yeah, that's a big one. I wanted to make a video about it, but I ended up not doing it due to the lack of time and yeah, just a general feeling that it will come in a patch note sooner or later, and that's when I would cover it. So I guess I should have done that video as a separate thing, but I guess now it's too late and here it comes. Maybe I'll just still cut it out and put it as a separate video for everybody's convenience. We'll see. Anyway, so here it is. Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another Warrior news update, where we are going to discuss the recent PvE adjustments. So let's read the patch notes for it. Adjust the calculation method of battle income, battle duration. Battle duration will affect battle income. Combat revenue will be calculated based on actual combat performance and combat duration. If you quit unexpectedly during the battle, the generated combat revenue will be retained. Adjusted the combat income of PvE mode. So obviously the issue was that like 90-95% of the player base was just grinding PvE battles, and you can't really blame them for the reasons. Grind is absolutely atrocious. It's really long. Like, you need to play many more battles than you used to during wargaming, because the battles on average are much longer. Like, even one-sided stomps where you capture all the points very quickly and then hold all of them, so you gain like 9.5 points per second, right? Those battles last just under 15 minutes, like let's say 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how hard the snowball is. 10 to 15 minutes is a one-sided stomp, and it's still longer than an average arena battle during wargaming. Because during wargaming, an average battle, whether or not it was a one-sided stomp, usually lasted 7-8 minutes. And very occasionally there were battles that would stretch out all the way to the maximum of 15 minutes, because that was just a hard limit. If the battle lasted longer than 15 minutes, I mean, it would just end at 15 minutes, and the winner would be decided by the amount of points left on the battlefield for soldiers alive. And yeah. And you would still get maximum rewards no matter how long the battle was in wargaming, if I remember correctly. I mean, maybe it was just a little smaller because, yeah, it did depend on your performance, and obviously in shorter battles, you wouldn't be able to amass that many points as you would in longer battles, but still the rewards are more or less the same. And now not only the maximum amount of points you get for a victory is smaller than it used to be in wargaming. I would say like it's halved. I don't remember the exact numbers. I haven't done my research on it, so excuse me if I'm making a mistake. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But that's how it feels. Like, the experience you get was cut in half compared to wargaming for one battle. And then the battles are also 2, 3, 4 times longer on average than in wargaming, because an actual average battle that isn't a one-sided stomp can last anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. So yes, you're looking at 3 to 4 times longer time on average per battle, while the rewards are halved. So multiply that, and you've got 6 to 8 times longer grind than in wargaming. Now we've got the adjustment of the battle duration. So obviously the patch only hit yesterday, so we don't have that much data on it, right? But the general consensus right now, from what people have been reporting, is that the shorter battles just give you way less XP, and the longer battles, like, you know, those that go like 20-30 minutes, only those give you full rewards as they were giving you before. Like, if you finish a battle in 3 minutes, right, you were still getting full rewards. They were getting full rewards no matter what, and no matter how long the game was. And now you can only get full rewards if the battle goes those 20-30 minutes. So if it doesn't, you're not even getting full rewards, which just extends the grind even more than it used to. And then also you need to remember that in PvP, you're not guaranteed to win. Like, average obviously is going to be more or less 50% victory rate, not even exactly 50%, depending on disconnects, I guess, and how it counts, but whatever, right? So yeah, in PvP, you have more or less 50% win rate, depending on how good you are, right? Some people will have 55, 60, maybe more. Some people will have 40, 45. But in PvE, you would win pretty much all the time. And you would not only win all the time, you would also win almost always within those 3 minutes, like very quick count, because you just abuse the AI pattern, which just right clicks on the nearest point, you go around it, cap the point, cap the pace, win, right? It really requires a lot of talent to lose in such circumstances, although yes, I have seen quite a lot of people having such a talent, but that's not doping entirely. So yeah, the grind right now is really, really bad. So yes, they addressed one part of the issue, the part where PvE is more lucrative in terms of XP than PvP, but they haven't addressed the second part of the issue, which is that the grind is just atrocious. It's wargaming levels, if not worse. And by wargaming levels, I mean like World of Warships and World of Tanks, and not Total War Arena under wargaming, because the grind in Total War Arena under wargaming was bearable. It wasn't fast, but it wasn't slow, because I had like literally thousands of battles in World of Warships and World of Tanks, and even after those thousands of battles, I wouldn't have a single tier 10. And not only to mention their atrocious economy, where you need to grind with premium account and tier 8 premium units, ships, tanks, whatever, to even stay afloat in terms of silver. Luckily, Arena doesn't have that issue. Please stay that way. Right, and the grind was much faster. In Arena, I got like 1,000 battles and I already had like 2 tier 10 units, I think. So yeah, grinding in Arena wasn't that bad, but now it is. As I calculated, it is like 6 to 8 times slower. And now that they have adjusted the timing, it is even to get even slower than that. We don't have the data. They haven't provided us a number here, because what does it mean? Adjusted the combating of PvE, but like, give me a number. Did you decrease it by 20%, 50%, 90%? What did you do? What is this? Do you expect me to go into PvE, into 100 battles to pull out an average and calculate it myself? God damn it. That's also what I'm not a fan of CA here. Just provide the fucking numbers in patch notes instead of being vague like that. And explain to us how it works. So anyway, how I would like it to work, right? Yes, sure, I guess adjust the timing, because that needs to be done, otherwise the quick victories will be a thing. Although if you just nerf PvE to the ground, it won't matter, right? If that adjustment, for example, is 90%, right? So going for 3-minute win in a PvE doesn't matter. You still get less than in PvP. If you go for a 30-minute win in PvE, doesn't matter. It's still much less than in PvP. It's like PvE will not be good for grinding at all, which I think should be the case, right? Just put the grind in PvP. Then again, there is an argument to be made for PvE grinding that, due to matchmaking, you can go into a tier 7 battle with a tier 5 and you get absolutely roll stomped, or even the difference between upgraded unit and unupgraded unit is quite large. So if you go into a battle with your unupgraded tier 7 unit and you face an upgraded tier 7 unit on the other team, you're just putting your team at a disadvantage, because matchmaking still counts you as a tier 7 unit. It doesn't really recognize the equipment you have, I think, at least. And yeah, that way you're just putting your team at a disadvantage and then contribute to a lower win rate for yourself and your teammates, right? So you would want to grind the boring part where you're weaker in PvE, and then once you grind your unit to be as strong as it can be, which is like just maximum upgrades, like all the equipment, right? And then you go and have fun in PvP with that strong unit, right? And you don't feel like, oh, I have lost this engagement because I didn't have the equipment and my enemy did, and his unit was just simply stronger. Because that sucks. That really sucks, right? Obviously, you can just say, well, get good and outplay him, right? But it's another player. He can also outplay you. So yeah, that's one argument to be made for PvE grinding to still be a thing. And there's like not a single correct solution to it. Like not a single solution will be 100% right for 100% of the player base. Some people will get hurt, and you just need to figure out like the best balance between those two camps, right? So yeah, nerfing PvE to the ground is one way of doing it, but you need to address how long the grind is, because it is really, really too long. And with the fast PvE grinding, it was still long, and now you take that away, and the grind is just straight up too long, and it's too long to just emphasize on how too long it is. So that's the second part of the issue. If you don't want people to grind in PvE, just make it easier, make it faster to get experience in PvP. Because there's a difference in, like in wargaming, right? Okay, I have an unupgraded unit, I just got my tier 7s, I want to play tier 7s, whatever, I don't have the equipment, right? But 5 to 10 battles, and I will have the equipment, right? Okay, so I play 5 to 10 battles. Oh, okay, I have my better sword right now. Another 5 battles, okay, I have my better shield. Another 5 battles, okay, I have my better armor. And 20 battles in an unupgraded unit, and it's like slowly more and more upgraded. And hey, here I am. Okay, I have my fully upgraded tier 7 unit right now. And I can enjoy my fully upgraded tier 7 unit in PvP. While I grind for a tier 8 unit, right? Until I reach that point. And yeah, that way it is much better. Right now you would need to spend, I don't know, 50 battles instead of 20 to upgrade your unit to full. And with the adjustments here, right, it will be even longer. So first of all, increase the amount of XP you get on average per battle. Just straight up increase it. To make the ground slower. I know the Chinese market, community, whatever, they apparently like to grind or don't mind the grind. So there's that argument to be had, like, yo, Western players are in minority, and yeah, the Western players hate the grind or don't like it. But yeah, they're a minority, so who cares? It needs to be Chinese market. We need to squeeze the money out of them, right? After all, it's a company and it wants money. But the other way you can do it, without changing the amount of grind that is needed, lower the amount of experience needed for the upgrades, but increase the amount of XP needed for the next unit. So the total amount of XP that you need to get from tier 7 to tier 8 is still the same, but the amount of battles you need to play in order to max out that tier 7 unit will be much smaller. That would be perfect, because if you are to grind in PvP, because that's what the game needs. It needs to have players playing PvP, not PvE all the time, right? It needs to have a healthy matchmaking, short queue times, etc., etc. And you achieve it by nerfing PvE to the ground and buffing PvP, essentially. So, yeah, playing PvP with an unupgraded unit for a very, very long time is not fun, because you're just getting crushed by people who have those units upgraded already, because they have jumped on the bandwagon and grinded all those high tiers and all the upgrades while the fun still lasted before this patch, right? But if you lower the amount of XP needed for the upgrades, you can reach that maxed out unit much quicker, and then just have fun against other maxed out units in PvP, right? And then you don't take away that amount of grinds. It's like, okay, let's say you needed 150 battles to get from tier 7 to tier 8. I have no idea whether that number is accurate or not, it's just an example. And before, you would need to spend 50 battles on fully upgrading the unit, and then 100 battles to reach the tier 8 unit. Or it was maybe more like 75. I don't know. Really depends on the path you need to take, etc, etc. How many upgrades you need on the way. And I would switch it to, I don't know, 10 battles to fully upgrade, and 140 battles to reach tier 8. And I know it's kind of like a limbo. It's like, okay, oh, quick progress, yeah, I'm having fun, okay. Every battle pretty much gives me an upgrade. And then 140 battles of nothingness, right? Yeah, it kind of feels sucky, but I would still argue it's much better than the 75-75 split, because you get much more enjoyment in the battle, right? Because, hey, my unit is fully upgraded. It's great. And there's also the arguments like, oh, you need to reward the grind, right? It's like, hey, if you've grinded for long enough, you need to be rewarded with an advantage on the battlefield. That argument really, really fucking sucks. Like, look at League of Legends, for example, right? There's no advantage to grind. There's nothing. You cannot buy a premium unit. You cannot buy any boosters or whatever. Like, okay, in Arena you also can't, right? But you have premium units. And yeah, everybody's on a even playing field, and people seem to enjoy League of Legends a lot, otherwise they wouldn't be playing it, although some people are just playing it out of hatred, I guess. So yeah, let us enjoy the battles, CA. Like, please fix XP, the grind, the distribution, etc, etc. But I guess I have rambled for long enough about it. I have gotten my thoughts out, hopefully. Probably I still missed some points, and I'll rewatch this video. It's like, oh shit, I should have mentioned that. Oh, I forgot about that. Blah, blah, blah. That's where the comments come in. Feel free to share your thoughts about it, because that is really like the core issue of the War Arena right now. People not playing PvP and leaving the game possibly because of the amount of grinds. Like, oh hell no, I'm not going to grind that many battles to just get my tier 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So yeah, that needs to be addressed, CA, so please reconsider. And you, the viewers, please provide your feedback in the comments. Oh, remember when I said I will probably forget something? I now remembered what I wanted to say about it. Well, I'll just briefly mention it and maybe somehow glue it onto the video, right? I can do it in post. So what I wanted to mention is the scale, because you adjust to the time, right? And the question is it linear, as in a 10-minute battle will give you twice as much rewards as a 5-minute battle if everything else stays the same, like your performance and everything? Or is it exponential, where the longer the battle gets, the way more you get XP? I mean, you know, X to the strength, the might, I don't know. Power. Yeah, that's what it's called. X to the power 2 looks, right? And there's also logarithmic scale, which I think is the best solution here. And it's essentially the reverse of exponential, which it grows really fast at the beginning, right? So you reach pretty much the maximum after a very short amount of time, and then the longer it gets, it pretty much stays the same, it just slightly increases. While the exponential grows slowly at first and then goes much higher. So you could, in an exponential, right, you would get, let's say, a 20-minute battle, which is on the lower end of the average battle duration, and you would get, let's say, 1000 XP. And then in exponential growth, you would go into a battle that lasts 30 minutes, and you would get, let's say, 3000 XP for a 30 minutes battle, right? And then you would need 3 20-minutes battles to get the same amount of rewards that you would get from one 30-minutes battle. So yeah, not a good solution, right? So then what do you do? Linear? But then linear also isn't really good, because 2 10-minutes battles equal one 20-minute battle, but then you have matchmaking in between, right? Loading times, etc., etc. So not really that. And then logarithmic, I think, is the best because it still rewards you if you manage to actually win quickly. Why would you be punished by it? Like, you won, right? So you should still get significant rewards. And obviously, if you win after a longer period of time, where you've spent longer time in the battle, so you get more rewards, but you're not getting cacked by just finishing the battle quickly. So I think exponential doesn't make sense at all. I hope they didn't do it exponentially. Linear does make somewhat sense, but I think the most sense makes the logarithmic scale. So yeah, I hope that they did the logarithmic scale. You can also share your thoughts in the comments down below. Which do you think is the best solution here? Or maybe something in the middle, I don't know, like reverse S or S growth curve. Those are other solutions to the problem, I guess. So now that's the end of the video of end of both videos. Now, haha, 200 IQ. So yes, please check the links in the description below to help us bring Arena back to the West. The best thing you can do to actually help us is just subscribe to this channel, because if then I can get partnered, that would be really, really nice, and I could talk to CA more. So yeah, this done. And I really want Arena back to the West. So then this isn't an issue. And the ping, oh god, the ping.